Good morning everyone, and in this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what day trading opportunities there may be. You're going to see my analysis and my strategy, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. So starting off here on the daily, as always, we have EU on the top, DXY on the bottom. Now what is the daily showing us? As I mentioned in my previous video, we had pulled back on news to this daily order block here. You can see we've had some heavy bearish reaction off of that. Yesterday we had a massive bearish engulfing candle. Today price action already is very bearish. We've broken through our previous daily low. We've broken below these lows from previous days during this week on Monday and Tuesday. And yeah, we have a lot of bearish momentum coming from this order block here. Inversely on DXY, of course, we have bullish price action, right? We came down into our imbalance here, had a bullish reaction with this massive bullish engulfing. And obviously today, of course, we have our bullish price action momentum continuing, and we've broken through our previous daily high and we're now above these previous highs here. So there's not much to see on the daily apart from we can see where the momentum is and how much price has moved today. So let's go down to the 4 hour and see what that shows us. On the 4 hour now, I'd say it does look like we're bearish. Of course, the early signal started here when we created this lower high. We then made this low. We've now made a lower high and a lower low, right? Breaking beneath this low here. Of course, ultimately this low here would probably be that external low on the 4 hour because that started this bullish leg here. So ultimately price action started from down here, but now we have returned to this 4 hour POI. So we have our 4 hour POI here down in this area. We have our 4 hour POI, so we'll see if this area holds or not to see if we're going to continue this possible new bearish trend. Of course, we also have SMC divergence now at these lows because DXY has swept this high here. So we have SMC divergence, which would give us a weak DXY because EU refused to make a new lower low in that area. So we can expect some sort of bullish reaction from EU, pullback, whether it may be temporary or not. We obviously have imbalances here, order block, imbalance and order block above up in the premium. So we'll see what sort of momentum we get from these lows here in this POI area with SMC divergence. Obviously on DXY, we've also taken these highs, so buy side liquidity swept, and we have the SMC divergence. So we may seek out some sell side liquidity POIs in the discount. We also have this 4 hour POI left behind here, which was not mitigated on DXY. Now on the 1 hour, similar picture obviously. We have our, well, it looked like a bullish leg. We broke out, we was just pulling back to this 1 hour POI in this daily order block. We've now made our lower low since. We've taken that sell side liquidity from these lows and we are in a 1 hour and 4 hour POI. I'll just zoom out. This is a 1 hour order block and a 4 hour order block as well. As I mentioned, we have our SMC divergence, so I'm expecting some sort of pullback. Our most immediate confluence area on the 1 hour is this cluster of order blocks here, right? This is one big 1 hour order block up in a premium of just this 1 hour leg here. Ultimately, this is the larger leg, so we do have premium POIs above to draw price, but this would be the first area where I would look to see if price is going to continue downward with that bearish trend. So we may see some trades from here to continue the shorts. So the bias I'm getting from looking at the intradays and higher time frames is we're in a POI area now. We have SMC divergence. We had a massive bearish move, so I'm expecting a pullback. Now it is a Friday. There is a bit of news, but it's also Friday. And after all of this momentum all week, we don't know how much price is going to move today. Price is usually closes out some sort of doji on a Friday, right? But we may get that move. So my bias is short-term longs from this area here to pull back to a more premium POI where we may actually get some shorts from, we don't know, but we're going to go with this confluence here. I don't want to trade into this confluence unless something obvious happens, but I don't want to trade down in this area right into this area, right? Because we have a lot of confluence here to go long from. So let's go down to the M15 and see what opportunities are available. So on the M15, what do I care about immediately? Of course, we're at these lows, we're at this confluence area. What I'd want to see is price do something like this, come back down, whether it sweeps these lows or not, maybe it does. Break out, above that previous high made here, and then we get our pullback to our lower time frame POI to go higher. So let me just make that clearer, just to make sure that my strategy is clear here. This would be an order block left behind, preferably after sweeping this low, which would be great. So we'd have our low swept for sell side liquidity that causes bullish momentum. Then we have a type of corrective pullback back down to our POI to continue up towards a more premium POI above here. So that would look something like this, obviously. Put target up there. Put that just below the lows. And that is how I would target along from this area after price creates structure, breaks above it to show that bullish intention, and pulls back to the lows. For the opposite, for the shorts, I'd be wanting price to obviously pull back up to this area. I wouldn't enter straight off of this area. Like I said, we have our POIs above, right? So I'd want price to pull back up to this area, create some structure like I just mentioned at the downside, possibly sweep that high, break to show that bearish momentum, pull back to this area to continue our new trend. Okay, so what would that look like for me? Again, this would be a lower time frame POI up here on maybe the M15. Price, I would enter like this around this area, above the high, target the London low, or ultimately, you know, a new low for below this order block here, which would be sell side liquidity to continue this possible trend. Now, not necessarily would I aim for 7%, of course, but that would be how the trade would look. We would target those areas, or just target whatever your set target is. This is exactly how my trade would look. I'd want a sweep of buy side liquidity, a breakdown to show that bearish intention from this area, to show that we can trust this confluence and POI, and we'd pull back to it and go short. Now, of course, this can happen at a much higher price, somewhere up here, wherever these other POIs are. However, that's what I'm looking at now. I hope you gained value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.